When Navy SEAL training meets organized crime tactics, will military honor be enough to defeat criminal corruption? Because Jake's final stand would prove that special operations soldiers never leave civilians behind, even when those civilians are Uber passengers. Jake's protection of Emma had evolved into a federal operation involving the FBI's Human Trafficking Task Force, local law enforcement units cleared for security, and Jake himself serving as both asset protection and tactical consultant. "Jake, your passenger safety is our primary objective," Agent Santos coordinated through secure communications. "But your intelligence about this network's capabilities has been crucial to our operation. We're dealing with a trafficking organization run by former military contractors." Jake's assessment had been correct. The trafficking network was led by Viktor Petrov, a former Army Ranger who'd been dishonorably discharged for misconduct and had used his military training to build a sophisticated criminal enterprise. "Emma, the federal operation is going to use your testimony to build a case against this entire network," Jake explained, employing the same protective communication techniques he'd used with civilian assets during overseas deployments. "But first, we need to make sure you're completely safe from retaliation." The coordinated operation revealed the full scope of the trafficking network. 23 victims across multiple states, corrupt law enforcement contacts, and criminal revenue exceeding $2 million annually. Jake's intervention had disrupted more than just Emma's immediate danger. It had exposed an entire criminal enterprise. The trafficking network's final attempt to eliminate Jake and Emma as witnesses required Jake to employ the full spectrum of his SEAL training in an urban civilian environment. When Victor's team attempted to intercept them using military-style tactics, Jake responded with special operations techniques adapted for protecting civilian assets. "Emma, stay behind me and follow my instructions exactly," Jake commanded, using the same authoritative tone that had coordinated successful missions in hostile territory. "These guys have military training, but they're using it for the wrong reasons, and that makes them predictable." Jake's tactical response demonstrated why Navy SEALs are considered elite operators. He neutralized armed threats while protecting a civilian, coordinated with law enforcement backup, and gathered intelligence on the criminal network structure and operations. When federal agents arrested Victor and his associates, they found that Jake's protection of Emma had prevented not just one victim's exploitation, but had exposed a criminal network that was planning to expand operations into multiple new cities. "Jake," Agent Santos said after the operation concluded, "your tactical expertise and protective instincts have dismantled a trafficking network that could have exploited hundreds of victims. Emma's testimony, protected by your actions, is going to put these criminals away for decades." 6 months later, Jake had transitioned from rideshare driving to working as a federal contractor, using his SEAL training to coordinate anti-trafficking operations across multiple states. His experience protecting Emma had revealed that his military skills could serve civilian protection missions that were just as important as overseas deployments. Emma, with comprehensive federal protection and support services, had begun studying criminal justice with the goal of becoming a victim advocate for trafficking survivors. Her relationship with Jake had evolved from passenger driver to mentor-student, with Jake teaching her personal security techniques that would help her feel safe as she rebuilt her life. "Jake, you saved my life that night," Emma said during a federal commendation ceremony recognizing Jake's civilian heroism. "But more than that, you showed me that there are people who will fight for strangers simply because it's the right thing to do." Jake's response reflected the values that had made him a Navy SEAL. "Emma, protecting people who can't protect themselves isn't just military training. It's what decent human beings do when they have the skills to make a difference. Sometimes the most important missions happen not on foreign battlefields, but on city streets where innocent people need protection from criminals who exploit vulnerability. Sometimes the difference between escape and exploitation is one person willing to use their skills to protect strangers." Jake's story proves that military training serves its highest purpose when it protects civilian lives. If you're a veteran struggling to find meaning after service, remember that your skills can save lives in ways you never expected. Share this with anyone who's served in the military or works in public safety. Your training and experience might be exactly what someone needs to survive their worst day.